All right, I don't care what anybody else says. There is a magic. There is some kind of mystique. There's some kind of just extra skill to be able to forget the suction cup to put your camera on the windshield, and instead you just put an entire tripod in the passenger seat. But all that's to say is Sam is on a trip, and Sam's actually on a return trip. When I was in high school, we did a family kind of California, what do you call it? I don't know, blitz, where it's like we were going San Diego, well, Monterey was one of them, a couple of other places, and they were all cool, but the Monterey was the one that I remembered the most. So the only thing that kind of sucks though is, I don't get the added legacy of getting to go back to a gym that I've never been before, or getting to go back to a gym that I had been at, years in the past. At this point, damn near only, getting close to 10, maybe 9 years since I've been here. Whereas there's a couple of places like this one, it's called Petoskey up in Michigan. Hilton Head's one of them, except the gym that I really like there shut down. It did not make it through COVID, which was a real shame because it was a badass powerhouse. I think it was inland, but either way, like it was just nuts. So actually, me and Mark went down there when it was kind of a whole group of us, and then we found a new gym that's actually a little bit cooler. So next time we go down there, we know to go to this different one. But it's just an added allure of being into the gym because it's everywhere, right? I mean, I'm talking, you can find this badass old school hole in the wall place, or maybe you went to some kind of anytime in the middle of nowhere. There's one of these in Ohio, I forget the exact location, but I've referenced it before, and they've got this crazy ass like back room 150 pound dumbbell, like just seriously cool extra space. And when guys really bring it like that, gym owners or whoever actually makes these places, it's special, right? Because we appreciate the value as a lifter, and usually if you're traveling, sometimes training actually just gets kind of thrown off to the wayside. Like the idea of like, okay, I got to go work out. It's, I mean, some people are looking at it as though, oh, I don't have to work out for a week. I'm on vacation. Oh, and of course, it's not like I don't understand that. That's not what I'm trying to say. But for me, given the circumstance of like, okay, I really like that I get to work out. I really like doing it. I mean, I'm always excited to do it whenever, right? Rain, shine, trip. Even when I'm sick, sometimes I've got to almost argue with myself to just stay. Like it was and I literally just said that American has been screwing me every time I fly with them. But flights got super delayed yesterday, so didn't get back until what was basically basically midnight Ohio time, and we were up since like 5. So I laid down. I said, okay, am I gonna go lift? And then I fell asleep. So today is actually yesterday's lift. Right? Today is actually the arm day I was going to do last night. But after only a quick 10-hour snooze, I am feeling much more rejuvenated. And then you add on top a couple of Uncrustables, you get some pre-workout in the mix, you get just overall kind of hydration, and guess what? I am expecting perhaps not an otherworldly pump. I'm not 270 like full of carbs or anything, but this workout is not gonna, let's just say it's not gonna be low energy either. And well, all right, Saturday, 8 a.m. What kind of crowd would you expect in a Gold's Gym over here? Probably a little older. Anybody? And this was me as well. Like high school lifter Sam was coming into the gym at 9 and not leaving until they closed at 11, just because that was the time of, that was just the time. That's how it worked out. But either way, hopefully we run into some beasts, and let's just talk about arms once we get started. Because I don't even know what kind of equipment that they have in here. So to guess like what I'm gonna do, it's It's like we just got to get in there and freaking find out. So I think nothing else to say. Let's park this thing and go thrash some arms. Hard to beat a basic ass preacher curl if it works. You know, sometimes it doesn't click with me. This actually feels pretty good. And given my lack of carbs, I'm not even going that heavy. This is like 70% of the stack. So as set number 1, this is very squeezing, emphasized. Yeah, an evening in Roma is not going to work for that set. There we go. All right, come on. Yeah. One more of those, one notch heavier. Okay. Oh, goodness. All right. This is something only I think some lifters are aware of. Like I'm not dropping ball knowledge here, but there's a certain effect of traveling where your pumps actually like improve in intensity because you're just generally inflamed and like holding water from traveling around and like flights and everything. So I'm actually feeling incredibly pumped after just 2 sets, making use of that kind of inflammatory effect, which, good or bad, I'm pumped up. So let's get some cable curls going. Light-ish. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm not done. Okay. Ooh, okay. One more of those. Okay. All right, I've got a plan for the finisher. I'm gonna start some triceps. Easy bar preachers should be sweet. And this is, 25 on either side is about as much as I can handle right now. All right, come on. Okay. Alright, let's grab some cables. Buys are done. Alright, so I have no earthly idea what the hell power mode does. I guess I want it on because more power the better, but I don't know. This is one thing that you may run into. You're gonna get too strong and then the stack is not heavy enough for like a heavy push down movement. But that's fine, so instead I'll just start with the rope. So still the stack, but with a good burning hold at the bottom while I can. And then, you know, pump out as many partials as feasibly necessary. Not a million, but you know, at least a couple. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. One more. Two. Okay. Let me think about what's next. You could also just do a single arm movement and use more than half the stack to get around that, you know, kind of weight limitation. So single arm pushdowns, 65 pounds, back and forth a couple times, and then I think we'll be ready for something. I'm not sure what, and I'm okay with that. I'm gonna feel different after this set, so maybe I'll make a more educated decision on what the next movie should be once this is over. But 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, kind of alternating style. All right. Yeah. Okay, one more. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's just do some basic pushdowns next, I think. Nothing fancy. No. Oh my goodness. All right. Yeah, a little lower volume day. But I'm cool with that because I'm aiming for a sensation. Let's pose down. Certainly not the grungiest golds that I've ever been to, but everything's pretty much super smooth, new. It's kind of a, well, you know how it is. But either way, I am feeling rather pumped, and assuming no one yells at me, I'm kind of hidden. Like, this is like a little bit of half side room. Nobody will make a fuss. Plus, it's supposed to be Gold's Gym. I mean, isn't their whole heritage a little bit more serious bodybuilding? Ooh. But I'm not so crazy to do shirtless pose down right in the middle of the dumbbell section. That would be a little much. But yeah, let's see how we're looking here. Oh my goodness. All right. Same thing from the back. And we can get out of here. Oh man. All right. So, since the lift was first, cardio is going to be a return trip. Typically, I'm going to say, cardio first, lift in the evening, but I don't follow that rule so strictly or even feel the need to now when I'm dieting, just because, well, I mean, I'm not even going to eat that much food to come into the gym super carbed up and like full of energy. So really, I just want to hit my lift whenever I'm feeling freshest and can just get after it right in that moment. So if that's right in the morning or if that's super late at night, does not really matter. A little more preferential, as it were. But let's get out of here, man. Arm's done. All right, that was good. That was what I would describe as just a freaking solid lift, So a little bit less heft, but sometimes that's just what happens, man. No need to curl the 80s when I'm simply trying to maintain my bicep size. Plus, you throw traveling in the mix, you're asking for trouble. I have, unfortunately, obviously, but I have historically hurt myself coming to or from a flight and still doing a wild lift of the same weight that I had been doing, and then, tweak my chest, pull my shoulder, do some kind of thing to my quad, do whatever. It's definitely not something to completely forget about, right? Let's say you didn't get enough sleep, you didn't get enough water, you didn't get enough of, 3 other kind of things. As much emphasis as we're putting on the value of in the gym, how hard am I going to bring it? Am I going to just go crazy? Your preparation has to balance that, For every director of a movie who's got the vision, there is also the entire crew of everybody who makes it happen, and each takes care of their individual roles to, turn this into a cohesive system. Now, when it comes to working out, you are commander-in-chief all the way down to, let's just say foot soldier. Obviously, that's not an actual rank, but whatever. You are top to bottom. You've got to come up with a vision and do all the cool stuff and make executive choices. And you also have to execute the minor details to make it all even happen, And those are the things that I think people aren't as excited about because it's not cool. It's cool to hit a crazy chest day and have an arm pump and get under fancy lighting. And like you've literally taken vasodilating, like vein pumping pre-workout to make yourself look extra crazy and, obviously have a better workout in the first place. But people aren't so excited about weighing out, 150 grams of rice before they eat it. They're not so excited about a big bowl of ground beef, seasoned or unseasoned, where it's just kind of, the whole point isn't enjoying that, like, this is an awesome, like, it's just, okay, I can eat this, And usually I don't have a problem with that, but sometimes, sometimes meals feel like a chore. Or waking up a little earlier than you might like to, doing cardio after your workout. There's a million tiny little individual things that go into somebody who's really after it with working out, and they want to take control over all these little details like their calories, like their sleep, like their hydration, like making sure they've got time in their day where it's scheduled for them to even go to the gym. And, you know, it's those people who the general public might consider nitpicking and just like too, like obsessed, but not in a cool way, you know? Like if you tell somebody you weighed out your meals for the next week and it's like you have to eat all these specific ones or whatever, you know, usually I would say most people aren't going to look at that and think, holy crap, that guy really cares about his goals. He's getting after it. I should be more like that. I should get, that's a lot. I mean, yeah, guys will just hate on working out in general, where it's like, you know, you're just gonna be all sweaty. I don't want to do that. It's like and the only reason for that thought process is just lack of understanding, because we get it. You know, we know what's going on when a real workout's happening, when you're actually getting after it, and just the feeling of a crazy set. And for me, I think that I get only extra motivation and extra excitement for all these workouts when I know, okay, I ate all my food today. I got an awesome amount of rest. I know if I go to sleep on a decent time and wake up then tomorrow, when I've got legs, which I do, I'm gonna feel like a freaking beast. At least as much as I can in the current circumstance, you know? Because it's not like I'm gonna be squatting 900. I don't think that will ever happen. Nor do I really feel the need to. You know, it's not my thing. But on days when I just feel extra strong, you know, like let's say you got really bad sleep, your overall just quality of lift, quality of pump down here. Days where you got really good sleep, you're really hydrated, you got your meals in, it's up here. You know, so you get this bar of variability where if you got really bad pre-lift preparation, your lift is going to, you know, at least the energy you're going to bring to it's going to be on the bottom end. But if everything is right, dude, you're up here, you know. And since it's this relative scale, it doesn't matter if you're Chris Bumstead or if you are a beginner lifter. On the days when you feel on it, that sensation is the same. It doesn't change. It's not based on how advanced or how much of a, you know, amateur you are at whatever. Because, I mean, when I look back at my side chests when I'm 16 in my high school weight room and I'm holding the phone with one hand and like trying to pose with the other, if anything, I might have been even a little extra happy back then, just, you know, looking at myself pumped, because it's new. Like, this is a totally new thing. I'm like, holy crap, you know? So it's, I don't think that's where, no matter how far or how quick or how whatever you get with your training, if you're really into it, then those small victories in a relative sense of, you know, when you take all of time into account, of just having a really good workout, feeling good, feeling excited, looking at a certain like workout edit or like a Machiavelli motivation or a TikTok whatever, and like just saying, all right, I'm gonna freaking get it, and then doing it. I mean, look, not a lot of things beat that, at least anything I know of. You know, I'm sure it's probably the same feeling as a soccer player where every one of their shots and passes are just freaking perfect, or if you're in a band and you guys are just freaking grooving like you never have before, or anything, right? And for me, that thing is in the gym, and if I feel like the freaking planets have aligned on a lift and that I have done everything in my power to align them, sleep, hydration, just sort of mental like presence and not really getting distracted by anything and just being excited, that's all I could ever ask for, you know. And the more of those lifts like that I can add up, dude, the freaking better, you know, because it's a compounding effect of basically good days, good workouts, good days of sleep, good days of just, you know, how you feel about yourself and the world. And the more of those awesome days you have, dude, the better. And it's going to propel you forward. You're going to build momentum. You're going to get the results that you want, and you're not going to feel like you have to wait for them because you're excited to do it. You know, nobody builds a Lego set. This is a silly example, but nobody's sitting building a Lego set and the whole time they're thinking, oh my God, why isn't this thing done? Oh, like the whole point is doing it. Like, that's the fun part of it, you know? So if you can look at working out in the same way, you're setting yourself up for success. You know, if you have to guys who, and I understand the logic. It's a very interesting thing to say, like, okay, or there's kind of an allure to this idea where it's okay, I'm not happy until I've done everything, until I've set up my workouts perfectly, until I'm like just a total beast in the gym and everyone will know it. I'm not going to be happy until then. And I look at that and I say, dude, that sucks. I want to have fun the whole time. That's why I do all this. I never wake up and think, oh, I've got to work out today. Oh, I mean, and the days I do feel like that, it's usually if there's a crazy circumstance. Like I was sick, like I don't know. A really crazy sick is the only thing I could think of. Because apart from that, dude, I'm excited for it. Sometimes I feel a little weird because we've all been there where you have to actually like manually get excited for a workout. Like say, okay, I know I want to work out. I know I might not feel that excited right now. I want to do it. And things aren't clicking. We've all been there. But sometimes, man, if you get in a really good groove, it almost feels hard to even like think in that way because I'm already excited. You know, that's like putting a big ass bowl of your favorite dessert or your favorite meal or going to your favorite restaurant and you're having to think, oh man, I can't believe I have to eat a vanilla swirl from my local ice cream shop. Oh, like, no, man, I'm excited to do it. I want to do it. Like, you're going to have to put barriers in front of me to keep me from doing it. And I can't really think of one that I wouldn't be able to overcome, you know? So if, whether it's a little bit of delusion or not, if you can get yourself in that mindset of, dude, I am working out, I am going to bring it, and nothing is going to stop me from doing so. Whether it's totally true or not, if you keep thinking that, guess what, man? It's going to happen. You know? Can you objectively tell me that I'm not going to get after it? You're not in my mind. You know, you're not someone else in the world doesn't really have any power over you and your like thought process about that. So even if, you're a little bit earlier, you don't necessarily see the vision yet. If you can, I guess I'm kind of getting into a sort of like believe it to achieve it approach. But this is like, I'm like worming through some kind of freaking neighborhood. I don't know where I'm going. But no, this is going to be fun. So there's an aquarium over here I'm going to go check out, which, it's been like freaking 10 years since I've been here. So I want to get my fill while I've got a couple days. But good lift. So now all I got to do is go home, eat something, and then get ready for legs tomorrow. That gym has some pretty badass squat racks. So I'm going to see what I can do. Obviously, if my knees and my hips or my back don't agree, well then, guess what? I'm backing off. Light leg extensions all the way, because the allure of a badass set of squats is not going to overpower my, intent to not give myself a debilitating injury. Out of all my goals, the one that I can say is extremely clear-cut is that I never want to hurt myself again in any serious capacity. So I want you guys to hold me to that. If I ever really tweak something, I'm talking, you better thrash me in the comment section, because I do not, that is not a part of that's not a part of the plan. But nothing else to say. Hope as the sun starts coming up, it'll get nice and bright and just summery over here. But if you're headed to a lift, I hope you freaking bring it. And if you're leaving a lift, look, man, I hope we're both in the same boat of like sensation of, nice, that was a good one. Now I can go eat something. But in either case, you don't need me to tell you what to do. You guys know what you're doing, right? You're already going to bring it on your own. If anything, I'm the one who's got to bring it even harder. But I think nothing else to say. I'll see you guys for some legs tomorrow.